All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Mr. Flatface, a man of many faces and even more opinions, and I always have an opinion when it comes to Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 2022 edition. All right, so I made this video called Call of Duty Franchise Has Crashed, and I made this video more to just talk about the crashing and just overall get my rant and my rage out, kind of like I always do. Surprisingly, though, a lot of you guys found the video and left a lot of comments, and I kind of want to go over that because really it's showcasing from varying perspectives. We have people on one side of the fence, people on the other side of the fence, and people right in the middle, showcasing that this game kind of is decisively bad. Now, granted, with every YouTube video, it's going to feed an algorithm that's going to be based off of your own personal interest, and if you already feel a certain way, you're more likely to see videos that are going to be saying the same thing as you're feeling. But I'm an incredibly small YouTube channel, and for me to get as many comments as I did kind of shocked me, and it was really fun talking with you guys down in the comment section, but it more showed that there is a genuine outcry of people saying, hey, we want something else. This isn't it. There was an itch in the FPS market that needed to be scratched, and Battlefield fell loose, so did Halo Infinite, and now Call of Duty is also not scratching that itch. And you're seeing a massive outcry from the community. Not just the COD community in general, the Halo community, the Battlefield community, and the Call of Duty community. They're all screaming out saying, hey, we want something else. And the proof is in the comments on that video alone. The proof is also in the pudding in the Steam numbers, where 56% of the player base on Steam has left. They've stopped playing. They've moved on to other games or gone back to the games that they came from. The community is crying out for Call of Duty Activision to make changes to this game. And yes, they are making changes. For instance, in Warzone, they just lowered the amount it costs you to get your primary gun from $5,000 down to $2,500. And I don't see it being long before that they just put it right back to the old system, which everyone apparently liked. Now, I'm not a Warzone player, so I'm not going to comment on it too much. Personally, for me, I think that it should always just only be ground loot. But hey, I'm not a Warzone player, so don't at me about it. You guys do whatever you guys are going to do over there and complain about whatever you guys are going to complain about. I'll continue to complain about multiplayer. I just find it funny that after 2 months of launch or whatever it's been, now Call of Duty Activision's like, whoa, okay, people cried out about this. We need to change this now. And it's only because they are losing the players. And that's very evident. You can obviously tell when your player base starts to die, when the players start running into same people in every single game. The other day we were playing the game, we ran into foreskin about 10 times that night alone. Yes, there's other factors that go into it, internet bandwidth, location in the world, geographical location, all sorts of other things go into it, as well as skill-based matchmaking. But in a game that is as big as Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2, or so they say, you should not be running into the same person every single game, unless you're partied with them. You could tell this back in Rainbow Six Siege, Rocket League. When the player base starts to die, you start to run into the same people over and over again. It does foster some sort of rivalry, but at the same time, it also fosters a hell of a problem. That problem being your game has died. Your game is no longer what it used to be. And we are seeing that in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer, Warzone, as well as in DMZ. For the DMZ players, it's the spawns constantly getting spawned, and the fact that there's a bunch of Warzone rats that couldn't compete in Warzone coming over to DMZ to shit on people that are just simply trying to play the objective and play PvE. So you got the DMZ community not happy, you got the Call of Duty Warzone 2 community not happy, and you have the multiplayer community not happy. And the zombie community, well, they're just left out of the whole damn loop because it's an Infinity Ward game, so those people are just still back wherever they are currently. So when you got all three of your game modes and the community screaming out, hey, we're having issues, and those issues range from dev errors, constant crashes, gun glitches, skin glitches, to, broken mechanics, to not being able to afford things, and it's the list goes on and on and on. It's only now that Call of Duty Activision starts to realize, hey, we have a massive problem at hand. We have a game that we apparently worked very hard on with 3,000 developers over 3 years that is not doing very well. Will it die? Probably not. They know that. Call of Duty will never die. But the issue is that Call of Duty can lose a lot of its player base. And for every player that leaves, that's another dollar Activision's never going to see. It's another dollar they can't market a skin towards. That's another person that will never purchase a thing in the item store. And this is going to create two problems. They're either going to say that they can't keep developing the game because they run out of money, even though we all know that the next year $70 DLC is going to be 100% a copy and paste of this year's game. They don't have the money for that. It's also going to make them less interested in making new game modes and fixing things in the game. Look at Halo Infinite, for instance. Halo Infinite had so many problems off the bat, but they lost their player base so rapidly that now they they're just on maintenance mode, basically. They'll say they're not, but they are. And we may see that coming with Call of Duty. Do I think it's good? Yeah, I think Call of Duty needs to realize that their practices have reached an audience that doesn't want it anymore. With all that's going on in the world, with inflation going up, mortgage payments going up, with rent being up, and work being hard to find or easy to find but not being able to be paid enough, there's a lot going on outside of just the gaming market that is driving the same decisions in the gaming market. The same person who's going to lower their heating in their house to save a few bucks at the end of the month on their bill is the same person who isn't going to be buying a virtual skin to then play a game. The same person who's going to go to the store and buy all the no-name food or the store-only brand is the same person that is not going to go and purchase a weapons blueprint in the store. And with the economy the way it is, that's exactly what is happening. They're not seeing the return on investment on these skins that they're selling. I don't see any other skins other than the CDL skins running around the market. And the CDL skins here, at least here in Canada, are $14. They are actually one of the cheaper skins that are on the market. And you just get to look like a generic Power Ranger running around the map. So I'm seeing it in my own comment section, as well as when I'm playing the game, as well as just in general on Twitter, on the news feeds, everything. You're seeing that there's a massive outcry from the community saying we've had enough. Yet, we are still here and we're still going to play it. What we all need to do is just not buy and we'll be fine. If we didn't buy their skins, then they'd be forced to stop selling the skins. If we didn't buy the weapons blueprints, we'd be forced to stop selling the weapons blueprints. The fact that they have to put bonuses to stats on the weapons blueprints in order for them to even be a good deal is crazy, because you could technically just go make any blueprint you want because all the attachments are already there. But they do little things like tweak certain settings to make it worth your while, which then turns the game into pay to win. Now, if it's free to play and it was pay to win, well, then I guess that's just the par for the course, because I've never played a single free to play game that wasn't pay to win. So if they just did that, then I guess we'd have an understanding. But then at least it was free to play. You know, at least we got everything up front, every map, every DLC, everything that came in the game up front, and then they can just package this out all the fun later, you know? That's basically what they're doing now, except for we have to pay for the game, unless you're a Warzone or DMZ player. Originally, I wanted to go through the comments, but I'm thinking maybe I'm going to do that in another video. We kind of said everything we needed to say this video without having to read the comments, but you guys really killed it last video on the comment section. It was crazy. You guys had so much input. I'm going to go over some topics right now just quickly. I'll blur out the names for anonymity on the video front. If you want to see whoever said it, then just go to the channel and actually read the comment. But this person said, I can't agree more. More people should see this as well. It's well said. I'm definitely ready for a change in the gaming industry. I miss split screen Slayer or how smooth Gears of War felt. Hopefully you're right and the indie developer brings back the good times, because this ain't it. Now, if you're confused by that, in that video I said that I feel like we're at the cusp of gaming. That gaming is at the cusp where we're going to have something come out that's going to explode. Just like back in PUBG. PUBG came out, and it was right at that perfect time where everything felt the same, stale, and nothing was really changing the market. So when PUBG came out, it was like, boom, it exploded. It was actually the reason I went out and bought my first gaming PC, because I was sitting there playing Call of Duty, and I noticed that every day less and less of my friends were on because they were playing PUBG, and less time was spent playing Call of Duty because they would rather go play PUBG. So I went out and bought my first PC, and I played PUBG. And then I bought my second PC to run it better, and then I bought my third PC to run it even better. Now, here we are. I don't longer play PC or PUBG, but now I'm 4 PCs generations in, and I'm loving PC gaming. But PUBG kickstarted that because it was a change to the market, which then led this whole revolution of people going from PUBG to Fortnite to Phasmophobia to Among Us, and all of a sudden you saw the creativity back in the gaming market, gaming studios. All of a sudden they couldn't do the copy and paste because everything else was doing it different. PUBG was doing it different. Fortnite was doing it different. Then Black Ops came out with their, what was it? I forget what their first one, Blackout. It was called Blackout, their battle royale. And everybody was doing the battle royale, and then it became stale. So everybody moved on to Phasmophobia. It was a ghost hunting game, but then the market was flooded with ghost hunting games. Then we went to Among Us, and Among Us, by that time, we just digested it so quick that there wasn't really any opportunity for, you know, other games to come out that took the cake to try to copy Among Us. But that happened all because of the exact same thing that's happening now. It was super stale. The market was dead. There was nothing going on. Now here we are, and we have the same exact thing. So that was one comment. This person said, man, I couldn't have said it better. I was really hoping this game would be better, which, let's be honest, it's not the absolute worst compared to the last Call of Duty we got. He's meaning Vanguard. But it's not what we as consumers wanted. So many bugs, glitches, crashes, and basically everything you talked about. I really hope people making these games actually listen to their fan base, man. Yeah, they should start listening to their fan base. We're the people that are playing the game. They need to stop listening to the small minority, you know, the squeaky wheel gets the grease, and start listening to the vast majority of players, the people who are actually going to stay the entire year. You might get a lot of money up front from a bunch of people that are going to play for a couple hours and then get off, and then maybe play for a couple days after that. You might get a couple skins here or there. But in all reality, the person who plays the lifelong cycle of a Call of Duty or the Warzone season, they're going to spend more money overall. So you need to start listening to them. I'm not saying exclude the other group of people, but the people that are going to play it the entire life cycle need to start being listened to, because we're the ones that are actually going to drive the sales for the next Call of Duty. You're always going to have the people that buy it and then play it for a couple days and get off. But it's very rare you're going to find somebody who's going to play the game for the entire life cycle. Look at the Destiny 2 player base. Those people are very dedicated to it, but it started off by an entire player base leaving and then coming back slowly. You're not going to get the same results with COD because there's nothing to work towards. There's no search. There's no hunt. Hell, Orion's not even that cool of a looking of a skin. It kind of just looks like a desktop background. So that's the only hunt we have in this game, because everything else has been put behind a paywall. And I do have a solution for the skins. I have a great solution. When we buy Call of Duty, we should be able to make our own character. Make it basic. You know, tack vest. We can maybe pick a few colors out of like the generic color list. And we get to make our own soldier that we get to go into war with. Then, after that, sell us the cosmetics to change it. You want this helmet? Here's $1 or $2. You want this tack vest? Here's $1 or $2. You want your gun to look like this? And then we could build off that. Think of it like the Division, except for everything's in the store. Do I want this? No. I'd rather earn it. Kind of like the old Halo days where you earn your armor. But that's kind of where we're at. Is I'd rather pay to customize my own character rather than paying to customize a guy in the game that I can't even do anything with. At least then I'm having some sort of input and my own sort of like resonance with it, right? It's my character. I am role playing. That's who I want to represent. This is what I want him to look like. I don't want to go pick Ghost because he's got a cool skull helmet and none of the other operators get a cool skull helmet, right? So then I got to buy skins for Ghost so I can have a cool skull helmet on everything. You get what I'm saying? If that was a complicated way of saying it, I'm basically saying let us make our own character and then customize it. And if we have to pay for some things after that, then we have to pay for it. But then you can also make challenges that reward us with different gear and stuff. Make it so we're actually looting and working our way towards something else. What is the point in having a raid for one gun and one skin? Kind of seems a little pointless and doesn't seem like it would hold anybody's interest for very long at all, does it? We're going to go over one more comment here. This person said, I knew the game was shit from the beta. The only reason I bought it is just now in December is because I'm tired of Overwatch and Battlefield. It's shit right now. Needed to scratch a shooter itch. That being said, this game is a bigger piece of shit than I imagined. The amount of sweat and frustration in every match is just ridiculous. As Thunder put it, the depression skill-based matchmaking is real. A few things to cover there. First off, Thunder is an absolute legend in the Call of Duty community. He's never been one that shies away from calling out Call of Duty franchise as a whole and the games as a whole. If you have not seen Legend of Thunder or 402 Thunder, go check him out. He's a big inspiration on why I make this channel now. That guy's the OG man right there. But as I've said multiple times, this person also referenced it. Overwatch, Battlefield, and even Apex, PUBG, Fortnite, all these games have died. They've gone nowhere. Why? Because they all started... Fortnite got too crazy. That's right off the bat. Fortnite got so insane that I don't even understand what was going on anymore. It became too hard to play. Not even from a building standpoint. I'm talking like just the maps in general. It was crazy, right? PUBG died, well, because of the hackers. That's why PUBG died. Overwatch is going to die because they decided that they're going to do exactly what every other gaming studio is going to do, and they're going to start selling you the heroes and the skins and everything in a paywall, so you won't be able, you don't have $10, well, you don't get this hero, I'm sorry. But you're going to be matched with that hero constantly, so then you're going to be driven to go get it. So that's why Overwatch is going to go. That's the stupidest decision they ever made. You know, the 5v5, that's fine. Making the meta different, that's fine. But as soon as you take a big part of the game, which was everyone had this heroes, access to the heroes, and you take that out, it's done. It's over. Battlefield died because they tried to do what Call of Duty did and have operators, and they said it was to make a unique gaming experience, but we all know what it's really for. It's to sell you skins on each individual operator at a premium price, so then you constantly are going out to buy new skins for your said operator. But they did it in a more intrusive way by having certain skills locked behind certain operators. So you want to be the spaceship or the flying guy, not the spaceship guy, the flying guy. Well, you got to go use that operator, but if you want him to look differently, well, then you got to go buy a skin. Then you want to use the armored guy, so you got to go use that operator, and if you want him to look differently, then you got to use the skin, because the flying guy and the armored guy can't use the same stuff. No, that's not allowed. Gaming as a whole has just become this whole pit of them just asking for more money. And then they do things like, for instance, in Call of Duty, they get rid of game modes. Well, we're going to release them to you later. No, you're going to feel it out and see if there's interest, and then if there isn't, you're not going to give it to us. But then you're going to say that you did it for us to save money. Sorry, to make the game better. Or the fact that they got rid of all the weapon names are all these weird names now. Instead of it being the AK-74U, it's the Cast-Off 74U. Instead of it being the MP5, it's got some other stupid name. They say that they did it to make it more unique and all this stuff, and they always have these reasons, but the truth is they didn't want to pay the name rights for these weapons anymore. So instead they made it different names, but then have the likeness of the same weapons. It's all to save money. Instead of paying out these naming rights, they just keep that money, pocket it, sell you the same game at the same price, and then say that they're doing it for you. Think of it like going to the store and then you see that bag of cookies, and the bag of cookies costs the same amount, but the bag of cookies is now smaller. Instead of it having 20 cookies in it, it's 18. And they say they shrunk the cookie size of the packaging so they can only fit 18 cookies instead of 20 because of the environment, when in all reality, they're doing it so they can sell you less goods at a higher price. And that's exactly what they're doing in gaming. Taking modes and they're taking things out of the game to then resell to you later as a package deal. I just went back, I have a video on my channel of me going back to 2009 Modern Warfare 2 and playing that. And right off the bat, the first thing you notice is you can vote maps. You can vote to skip a map right off the bat. I know it's crazy, but they take that out of the future games so they can get rid of that. The best example I have of them taking something out of the game to sell back to you is right now is on my gun. It's my KD tracker. If you go to the scoreboard in-game, you can no longer see your deaths in-game. Now, this has been the same for a few years, but now they sell you a little gun tracker so you can see how many deaths you're at. It's crazy, I know. But then that way, they can sell you that little KD thing so you can actually follow it. I use mine all the time. I got mine in the Battle Pass. I bought the Vault Edition, so I got my Battle Pass free. Free is in quotations. But I really didn't get it free, did I? No, I paid for it. But now I can at least see my KD. I can see if I'm doing good or bad. And then I can base it off that and go, okay, well, I've died a lot. I'm going to slow down. I'm going to kind of chill and see what's going to happen. Or, man, I got a lot of kills, but I don't have a lot of deaths. I'm going to go try to do something more fun and more exciting. I'm going to go try to maybe get a trick shot or something like that. But I had to get that attachment separately. Oh, if you're just good, you just know you're good, Mr. Flatface. Sure thing, kid. It's annoying. I don't know why they got rid of it. I know what it's actually for. It's to stop people from picking on people who are doing poorly. But let's just be real here. In 2 years, they're going to have an AI bot that stops you from talking trash anyway, so you can put anything you want in the damn game. I don't see the problem in seeing if somebody is throwing the game and dying a million times, and we should be able to know why we're losing. Because I've been in games with people who are just straight up killing themselves to reverse boost. I've also been in games where the one person on my team is boosting another person on their team by letting them kill themselves over and over again. It would be nice to know these things so then you could play differently to counter these things, but you don't get to know them. You can tell a lot from the score to the kill to death ratio in a game. Maybe a guy's doing really good. He's got 30 kills, but maybe that same guy has 65 deaths. You could tell that guy to stop freaking moving around the map. These are all crazy concepts, I know, but this is the real reason why Call of Duty is slowly dying. This is the reason why it's lost 56% of its player base. It's because the Call of Duty greed, the bugs, the crashes, the taking out game modes and everything like that and forcing us to do certain things a certain way is all resulting in the player base saying, you know what, we're out of it. I've gotten recommendations to go play Squad, Insurgent Sandstorm, even Splitgate I've been told to go play. Because apparently all these games are far better than this game right here. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I've been your host, Mr. Flatface, the man of many faces and even more opinions, and I always have an opinion when it comes to Call of Duty 2 Modern Warfare 2 2022 edition because this game is dog crap. Will I play it? Yes, I've made a pact with myself to play this entire COD for a year straight and to try to upload a video at least 5 days a week on this game. I've always wanted to be in the Call of Duty franchise, and as a YouTube creator, I wanted to be a Call of Duty person, so I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it this year. That's what I'm going to do for this entire year. I also got other videos on my channel. Feel free to check those out. They are more RPG reviews and stuff like that. They're not talking crap about a game. Anyways, I hope to see you guys in the next one. Happy holidays, and bye.